guys, welcome to my channel. So, as we all know, we're all quarantined to our homes right now. This is literally day 6, I think, and I feel like I should be in a mental institute because I literally can't take it anymore. I'm so bored. So, if you guys know me pretty well, you guys know that I'm wanting to start a YouTube channel for probably about a year or so. So I figured what better time than literally now. It's 5 in the morning, I think. And it's storming and I can't sleep. So I figured might as well start now or never. So obviously this is my very first video. I'm not exactly sure what all kind of content I'm gonna do. I'm not exactly sure what all kind of content I want to do, but I think I want to go the route of like a mystery channel maybe. I'm thinking along the lines of, I think I'm gonna call it Crafts and Crimes. So what I'll do is I'll do like a craft tutorial while I'm telling a crime story, but they'll be true crime stories. So they're gonna be things like murder mysteries, missing people. Like this video is gonna be part of my Missing Monday series. Obviously it's not Monday, but we're gonna pretend because it's my first video. So what I'm gonna do is like I'll choose a story for Monday and it'll be about a real missing person. So, and my content may change, we never know. But for right now, I think this is what I want to start with, so we're going to try that. So, my name is Dustin, if you don't know me. I'm from Ohio. I'll have all the links down below if you guys want to follow me on Instagram. That's like the only social media that I have. I'm not really a big social media person. Maybe that'll change, but I highly doubt it. So that'll be linked below if you want to follow me. Also, I'll have my YouTube channel linked below too, so you guys can follow me over there. So, the first story we're doing today, I figured I would do something close to home. And I found the perfect story, actually. It's literally right here in Ohio. It's about an Ohio State campus story, kind of, about a guy who went to Ohio State. His name was Brian Shaffer. He was born in, I want to say it was February 25th, 1973. And he was born in Pickerington, Ohio. It was his mom and his dad, and he had one brother. So, the story ends up taking place later on down the road. He, gets into college, and he's in med school now, and we're going to fast forward to 2006, okay? So, it's 2006, and Brian is in med school. It takes place in the month of March. His mom actually passed away from cancer at the very beginning of March. So Brian and his family are kind of going through that right now. And Brian's like your everyday frat boy pretty much, but a little bit nicer obviously. He's really cute. Like I said, he's in med school, but he's known for dreaming of, starting his own band and living on an island one day with just him and his girlfriend. And we'll get to her later. He has a girlfriend, her name is Alexis. She's also a fellow med student. So they were been dating for quite a while, and everyone around them suspects that they would have became engaged here soon. So it's 2006, the month of March, not very long after his mom had died. So Brian goes to dinner with his father. I can't remember his name. I think it's Randall, actually. I'm pretty sure it's Randall. So him and his dad, they go to dinner at one of the places where his father and his mother used to go out to dinner. And he's pretty close with his dad and his brother. His brother's name is Derek, his little brother. Very close family. And they had dinner together, and it was kind of sad. There was crying because his dad ordered something that him and his mom would order all the time back then. And, Brian was always there for his dad. And Brian's like the strong one of the family. So he kind of put up a front that he was doing okay. But from sources, like his girlfriend, obviously he was doing the best that he could, but he wasn't really doing good with the death of his mother. It hasn't even been a month yet. It's been like 3 weeks at this time. So after dinner with his father, he informed his dad that he wanted to go out with some friends for the night. He invited his brother and his brother's girlfriend, Mara. So he invited Mara and Derek, but Derek ended up not being able to go because he had other prior engagement to go to. I think it was like the Funny Bone. If you're from Ohio, you know what that is. It's a comedy club around here. So his brother couldn't go, so he ends up going out with his friend named William Florence, Clint, what he goes by. So I'll be referring to him as Clint for the rest of the video. So him and Clint go out. They go bar hopping close to where their college is. Place in Columbus called the Tuna Saluna. That's where they start at least. So they start out there. They do a shot at every bar, I guess, and they go down the strip pretty much. So they start at the Tuna Saluna, do a shot, and make their way down to a few bars down the path. And they end up meeting with, I believe it's Mara. I think, hopefully. They end up meeting with Mara, and they asked her for a ride back to the Tuna Saluna, where they were going to end things. She agreed, so she took them back, and she went inside with them and actually did a few shots with them, too. So they all had entered the bar, okay? All of them. After they enter the bar, do the shot, it's getting close to time to leave, they're ready to wind the night down. They lose Brian somehow, I'm not exactly sure how, but they separate from him. So the bar closes, everyone goes outside, and Mara and Clint are outside waiting for Brian. He never shows up. So they assume that maybe he went back to his apartment and just didn't tell anyone. So they go. They go home. That's the end of that night. So the whole weekend goes by. The whole weekend. And Brian's dad tries to call him, no answer. His girlfriend Alexis tries to call him, no answer also. Well, the beginning of that week coming up after that weekend, Alexis and Brian had plans to go on a little vacation together to Miami. So Alexis starts feeling weird, because she hasn't heard from him, and I'm sure, if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, you hear from them every day. I feel like it'd be weird to not hear from them even for one day. So the weekend goes by, and then the day comes for their flight, and either Alexis or Brian get on this flight. It is then that he is reported missing. So the whole weekend goes by, which I find a little bit suspicious, but I don't know, maybe things were different back then, because this was 2006, so, cell phones weren't as popular, online wasn't as feasible as it is now, you couldn't get on it so quickly anywhere at a time. This is back like the MySpace days. So he's reported missing. They obtained the footage from the security camera, and they noticed that Brian was not on the camera leaving the bar ever. Literally ever. The bar's got two entrances at the time. Both are on camera. One from the inside, one from the outside. He's not seen leaving the front entrance literally ever after he re-entered. And the second entrance led to like another bar of construction site pretty much, but he was never seen leaving that either. So cops are like at a loss for words because they're like, how did this guy, go in the bar and never leave the bar and was never seen again? So obviously their next step is to question everybody that was involved that night. So it was Clint, the friend, Mara, which is Derek's girlfriend, and there was two other ladies that were seen on camera talking to Brian. He was seen saying goodbye to them. I guess two classmates he went to school with. So all these people were questioned, and they were asked to take a polygraph test. Not the two girls, but Mara, Brian's father, and Brian's friend Clint were all asked to. Mara and the father volunteered, took it and passed, but Clint refused to take the lie detector test. Now, I thought that was really weird the first time that I went over the story. First couple times really, because I obviously did my research, so it took me a little while. And I thought that was weird, but the more I got to thinking about it, I don't think I would have taken the lie detector test either, because in my opinion, I just don't think they are reliable enough to get they're not admissible in a court of law. So for me, I wouldn't do it either, because anything could happen, and who knows if the results are right. If the cops wouldn't use them in courts, then I wouldn't do it either myself. Because like I said, I'm a very anxious person, so I'm always worried. Like, I don't know what trips off that kind of test, but, So after thinking about it, I came to that conclusion, like, okay, it's not really weird. But what is weird is Derek, Brian's brother, he didn't know Clint very well, but he was quoted saying that when he did meet Clint, he always felt like something was off about him. And, like, personally, me, I'm a very good judge of character. If I get a feeling about someone, I'm usually right, So that's what his brother was known to say about him, and he always said that he thought that Clint knew something. He just wasn't saying what it was. So that was a weird situation for me, you know? So nothing ever ends up getting found out pretty much. I mean, years go by, years. And his girlfriend Alexis, as the time that this was happening, would call his phone every single day, you know, just to hear his voicemail, just to talk to him, even though he was probably not getting them and not answering them, you know? And one random day, every time that she called him, his phone went straight to voicemail. It never rung, ever. Straight to voicemail, because his phone, his wallet, and his keys were never recovered either. So she called him every day, and this one random day, like a month down the road, his phone actually rang, and it rang 3 times, which is so weird. So Alexis called back, and it didn't ring that time. But the cell phone service was noted saying, he was in a cell phone service called Singular Wireless back then. They were noted saying that it could have been a glitch from the system or the towers. Because back then, like now you guys know all of our phones, they have GPSs on them no matter what. Back then it wasn't as common. You did have them on some phones, but you could turn them off and turn them on, and they weren't a thing that people really thought they needed to do. But however, when a phone is answered or called, it pings a tower. So when the phone rang that one time, it pinged a tower in Hillard, Ohio, which was about 30 minutes away from where they were located at the time. But the phone company was just saying it was a fluke, you know, so they just like, you know, it wasn't nothing serious. However, I kind of think it was weird. I don't know. I just feel really weird about that. So I feel like that was definitely more than what it was, and that it should have been looked into a lot more. But I mean, maybe the resources were a lot different back then than they are now. So, anyway, years go down the road, and nothing has ever been found out new about Brian. There's a lot of speculation and theories. We're going to go over a couple of the theories. The first theory is there was a killer or a group of killers back around the time called the Smiley Face Killers. They were known to kill just drunken college men that left bars, but their bodies were always found by bodies of water, and there was a smiley face graffiti somewhere very close. It was like a thing going on around then. So that was one theory. However, no body was ever found, and nor was a smiley face. And this would have been the only case that would have been possible if it was linked to the Smiley Face Killer. It would have been the only case where there's no body or no graffitis. I'm going to rule that out personally. Some people think that Brian maybe, you know, was going through a hard time with the death of his mother. So he fled and didn't tell anyone, and is like living on an island somewhere. I find it a little weird. They're going off based what he would always say back then, you know, that was always his end goal of life. But we all say things like that, you know what I mean? I don't think he would just up and do it, especially with how close he was to his family and with what just happened to his mother. So that was a theory. And then another theory is that maybe he was going through things, so he went off and he killed himself, which also seems a little weird to me because nobody was ever found. So, and then tragically in 2008, his father also passed away. There was a really bad storm here in Ohio. I remember, I don't know if you guys do, but like the winds were really high. I remember we were out of school for a couple weeks then, I remember. But the storm had passed, and his dad, Randall, went out into the yard, was like picking up debris, and then a gust of wind came and knocked a tree down, and it fell and killed him in a freak accident. And he wasn't even found until like a day later by the neighbor. So poor Derek, you know, the little brother, he still lives in Ohio with his wife. Not in the same area, they moved a little bit, but he still works around that area. He has like nobody now. His mom died from cancer, his brother's missing, and you know, his father died in a freak accident years later. So it's a very sad story. I'm gonna do these stories because I feel like tons of missing people stories, they pick up a little speed and then they just dissipate and they seem to get forgotten. So I feel like to raise awareness again to these, maybe there's people out there that know information that couldn't come forward with it at the time that can now. So if anyone out there knows anything about Brian Shaffer's story, contact me or Crime Stoppers of Ohio. If there's any information, you can call 222 Crime Stoppers or contact me or go to that page. So I just hope this story you guys found interesting. Obviously, like I said, this is my first video, so don't rip me to shreds. My content may change, but I know that this will always be a thing of it because this is what originally I wanted to do on YouTube. So look forward to more Missing Mondays. I'll try to upload every Monday if possible. Yeah, so hope you guys liked the video, and I will see you guys next time.